Would you be surprised that we're back where we are once again? No, you shouldn't be. Because, like I said, we'll be back. And we'll be back. And we'll be back. So what are we? We're back. Unfortunately, this time, we only got one angle. Because technology is sometimes. But we're going to keep it rolling. And we're going to keep it moving. And we're going to keep it pushing. Because what a great weekend of football we just had. My, oh my. Once again, man, I keep telling y'all, if y'all not tapped into this playoffs, then I don't know what you're doing. You're dragging your feet. Stop dragging them. Pick them up. Pick your knees up. Pick your knees up. That's what our coaches used to tell us. Pick your knees up. Tap in. Stay tuned because Quality Corner's in session. So what we going to do, we going to give you the divisional review right here, right now. So let's get to it. First game of the weekend. Wow. Barn burner. I got this one wrong. I definitely picked Buffalo because, like I said, Josh Allen could not afford to lose in these playoffs. But what did he go and do? He went and lost and had a very teary-eyed press conference. But yeah, Denver ends up winning this 33-30, but Denver wins, and then it also costs them as well. Their starting quarterback, Bo Nix, goes down with a broken ankle. Gosh. That's got to be the worst feeling. That's got to be the worst feeling. You get to the AFC Championship game, you clinch it, and on your second or third to last play before you win the game, you break your ankle. Man, shout out to Bo Nix, had a really good year, taking the Broncos through this playoffs, got him home field advantage. He'll be back. Broncos fans, don't be too discouraged. But be happy that you got a win. You might have lost your quarterback, but hey, you could still win it. Any given Sunday in the NFL. So, we're going to keep it pushing. Broncos defeat the Bills 33-30. Josh Allen has 4 turnovers in this game. You can't afford to turn the ball over 4 times and expect to win. You gave the other team 4 free chances to capitalize. And if they did capitalize, you would have been out of there. But I will give Josh Allen the credit that he did bring the team back. He did get them. They had a lead 27-23. They had a lead 27-23 late in the fourth quarter, but the defense just couldn't stop the Broncos, and then that forces them to go down, kick the game time field goal. But he also had some misses in this game. He had a wide open Dawson Knox or Dalton Kincaid, whichever tight end he be spamming the ball to sometimes, was wide open. Would have been the winner. But he missed him, got to settle for the field goal, and then they go in overtime. But, with that, sometimes, hey, you got to take what you get in football. And like I said, man, you can't afford to turn the ball over 4 times. But he did bring the team back to win, and then we have a controversial catch interception. And to be honest, if the way that you're looking at the rules of football and a catch, it was clearly an interception, because if Brandon Cooks would have held on to the ball and, held it all the way through, it's a catch. But because the ball was ripped away from him and he never really fully gained control, if no one was ripping the ball away from him in that sense and the ball came out when he hit the ground, it would have been an incomplete pass. So, sorry to the Bills fans, man. Y'all just keep on taking these traumatic losses, that almost sounded like, what was that, DJ Drama's tag or something? But anyway, then that also costs you your coach. Not your GM, the owner ends up firing the coach. And you see what happens? Football is such a dirty game, man. It's a trickle-down effect, and it all comes down to the nitty-gritty. If you would have told Sean McDermott, hey, you're going to lose on a catch interception situation here, and then lose your job, he probably would look at you like you're crazy. Like, what? What do you mean? But unfortunately, Buffalo decides to go in a different direction, and Denver decides to go back home to host the AFC Championship in the same direction as they were still going, but they also are going in a little different direction with Jared Stidham next week. So shout out to Denver, man. Y'all keep it pushing. You got another week to play. Any given Sunday, who knows what'll happen. But Buffalo, damn, so sorry. And hey, and to the quality corner pick, you were wrong. But next up, we had the 49ers and Seahawks. I got this one correct, but I surely did not get this score correct. Oh my gosh. Or as they say in French, oh mon Dieu. 41-6. Seattle brought the belt. BTA, they bought the belt out. You would have thought it was Michael Irvin or something. But I had Seattle winning this one 35-31. I did not expect 41-6. I did not think I would see a Kyle Shanahan-led team come out in the playoffs like that and look flat. Fix a flat. That's what they need. They need fix a flat because they start the first play of the game. The very first play of the game is a kickoff return for a touchdown in Seattle. You can't do that. You just gave the 12th man life from the very first play of the game. They got wiped off the screen, man. I don't even know, I don't know what they do, where they go from here, but the 49ers did have a bunch of injuries like we discussed before. They were pretty much an infirmary. So, hey, man, y'all just got to get healthy. There are a lot of conspiracy theories about this, electrical plant near the 49ers practice facility, which can, help in weakening your ligaments, muscles, all those things. Hey, somebody check that. I know one of my medical friends out there, y'all do the research, get it back to me, and then I'll push it out, or I'll just come to you. Either or. Little quick, we could do what we got to do here. Exchange. So 49ers just got to be healthy next year. I feel like that's the bottom line for them, but they had a good season. I guess their only task was to take out the former Super Bowl champs in the Eagles, and I guess they did what they came to do, but they surely did not do what they came to do when they went to Seattle, because they got mopped. Like, oh my gosh, 41-6 is not something that we want to see in the playoffs. I said it last week. We don't want to see blowouts in the playoffs. That's not what we signed up for. That's not what we came to watch. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people tuned out of that game pretty early, unless you're in Seattle. So, to the Seattle fans, keep it rocking. 12 man is always rocking. Y'all got another home game, number 1 seed in the NFC. So y'all be hosting another game. And like I said, any given Sunday, you will see if y'all make it to the Super Bowl. Next game, we had the Texans and Patriots. Once again, another one wrong for the quality corner. The whole playoff so far has been 1 for me. I'm literally broken even. Like, I guess 50% is cool, At least I'm 500. Shout out Mike Tomlin, I wish I was a little over 500 like him, but hey. Anyway, I got this one wrong. I picked Houston 24-21. New England ends up winning this one 28-16. Shout out to my Patriots friends. I'm sorry. I picked against y'all again. Maybe I should have learned my lesson like the last time, but I just couldn't pick against that Houston defense. And once again, the Houston defense did all they could until they couldn't hold anymore. Houston fans, CJ Stroud. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever seen such an abysmal performance in 2 games. Back to what do you have, 7 turnovers in 2 games in the playoffs? You can't do that. You cannot do that. This is the time where you have to hold the ball. You cannot turn it over like that in the playoffs and expect to win. You literally just wasted a generational defense. You don't know who's going to be on your team next year. You have to strike while the iron is hot. And he totally did not. So, hey, man. Houston fans, I know y'all are pretty upset. I know you're wondering, dang, is this really our quarterback of the future? And quite frankly, CJ Stroud has looked pretty good his first 3 years, but my gosh, out of nowhere, just this stench. Woo! Funky. Too bad, man. I wish my team had a defense like that, because I know my quarterback probably would not let them down. But, hey, man, it's all on CJ Stroud to regroup, go back to the drawing board, train, think about what he did incorrectly this year, and then get back to it, man. Because if that defense returns a lot of people, man, hey, I don't see Houston going anywhere. But shout out to the Patriots, man. Y'all back. Because look at it. The Patriots defense was pretty much doing the same thing that Houston was doing to them. But On the other hand, the Patriots were able to capitalize. They made the plays, and they made key plays when you needed it most, like Drake May throwing a dime to Kayshawn Boutte. Like, oh my gosh. Shout out to the LSU boys, man. I also am a little bit hurt that it was on Derek Stingley, another LSU boy, but who would know each other? They would know each other the best, right? They literally played on the same team at LSU. So if we're going against you in practice in college and then I match up with you in the NFL, I should know your tendencies. And then he should know his tendencies too. But it was good. Good, really good game, really good throw. Tremendous one-handed catch by Kayshawn, but like I said, man, New England capitalized. They took advantage of all the turnovers. The snow was a little bit of a factor there, but hey, man, you should not lose if the quarterback is giving you the ball 4 times. Like, and then there was a fumble from the running back too. So 5 turnovers in the game. You shouldn't lose. If you lose that in the playoffs, like, something wrong. Something's definitely wrong. So shout out to the Patriots, man. Y'all keep on moving to the next round. You go on the road to Denver next week. So this should be a good one. It should be a good one because defenses are probably going to rise there too. But, hey, shout out to New England, man. Shout out to my Patriots fans. Y'all know who you are. Keep doing the thing. Y'all back. Y'all got a good team, man. Y'all got a good team. And you might be pressed for a Super Bowl run. So, next game. Rams and Bears. I told y'all this was going to be the best game of the weekend. And I think it probably, I will say it was the best game of the weekend because Denver and Buffalo was like second place. They could have went back and forth here. You know, it's all about flavor and your preference. But both of these games went to overtime. And I got this one correct. I definitely had the Rams winning by 3, 31-28. They won by 3, 20-17 though. Much more defense than I thought, and that cold weather probably played a factor. Got some high winds, you know, a little bit of snow up there in Chicago. It was burr. The Rams was wearing scuba suits underneath their uniforms and whatnot. But like I said, Matthew Stafford is used to playing in Chicago. He used to play for the Lions. That playing over there in Chicago is no slouch for him. He used to play at Lambeau Field. Like, the Lions are in a dome, but still. He's used to it, and he knew what he was doing. And give credit to the Rams. They hung in there because the coaching, the play calling in this one was a little bit shaky across the board for the Rams. But when you got a veteran who's probably going to win the MVP and you have two number 1 wide receivers and then you got a good running game, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Your quarterback will tell you, hey, let's calm it down. He will weather the storm. And Matthew Stafford did just that. But once again, shout out to the Bears, man. Y'all gave a fight. And I definitely thought the Bears, when they tied the game at 17 on that tremendous throw from Caleb Williams. I told y'all, he gonna have them throws once again, 1, 2, 3, 4 times a game that make you say, wow, this guy is great. Once again, shout out to the boy from the DMV, man. Shout out to Caleb. He gonna keep doing them things up there in Chicago. And Chicago, y'all should be faithful that you got a good one. But I definitely thought that Ben Johnson would have went for 2. But maybe Ben Johnson got some sense and said, hey, let's just take this to overtime. And they had a chance to win in overtime. But this is the ups and downs of a young quarterback and someone like Caleb. Like, there's an interception late in the game, late on the drive, where they had a chance to win in overtime. It just seems like a miscommunication between him and the wide receiver. He thought that the wide receiver was going to cut it a little flat, but then the wide receiver instead carries up the field a little bit. And DJ Moore, he gotta hit the Jets on those routes, man. You gotta hit the Jets. I didn't like it. But once again, shout out to the Bears. But in hindsight, maybe they should have went for 2. Because you don't want to give Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay another chance at this apple. You gotta put the dagger in them. But if they would have lost, they probably would have been angry. But I would have understood. I totally would have understood if they went for 2 and they didn't get it, because I don't want to put the ball in. I don't want to go to overtime with Matthew Stafford. I don't want to go to overtime with him. But shout out to the Bears, man. Y'all had a really good season, best season in a long time. I think the future is really bright. You just gotta. They don't even really need to retool. Like, they have wide receivers. They got a tight end. They got offensive line, and you got a good defense. Maybe it's about retaining some of the key pieces. I'm not sure who they have leaving in free agency, but Bears, shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Rams, man. The Rams move on, and the Rams keep on pushing. Matthew Stafford is pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered his MVP campaign. He's like, look, if I don't win it, then A. Because if he don't win it, then something's wrong. And not, once again, I'm not saying that like Drake May shouldn't be the one. I'm not saying that in the sense where Drake May shouldn't have any recognition at this at all. But Matthew Stafford has got this team humming. 2 road games in hostile environments. He goes down and wins it at the end. And shout out to the Rams, man. Y'all move on. And with that concludes the divisional review. So like I said, up next, you already know what we got. Championship preview. So don't touch that dial, man. Don't touch that dial, man. Because, like I said, the quality corner is always in session. It's literally blinking green again. It's literally blinking green for telling you to stay tuned and keep on watching. So, shout out to y'all, man.